Hi, good morning, or possibly afternoon or evening, depends on where you are in the world. For me, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning here in Hawaii. My name is Katia, and I am an energy healer and a chakra balancing life coach. And I am so happy that you're here to join us. Welcome. I'm excited to kick off our Foundational Chakra Energy Healing Challenge today with you here now. We're going to start with a little bit of locating and presencing. So take a moment and look over to the right, just taking in whatever's over there, grounding in the space where you are. Then look over to the left, notice what's over there on your left, wherever you are. Look back to the right and to the left. Then take a look at what's above you, noticing, observing whatever is in your space right here and now. Then look down towards the ground, towards your feet, towards the floor, taking in whatever might be there. Looking up again, down, to the right and the left, up and down. This super short exercise helps us ground and center and regulate our nervous system so that we feel comfortable in whatever space we're in. So hopefully you're somewhere that you already feel comfortable, but just in case you're a little bit nervous about this challenge or you're not sure about anything that's going on in your life, that could help just a little bit. Then put one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and just take a couple of deep breaths. At this time, I also invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable and safe. Just breathing, moving the air and your energy. Finding yourself here and now. Then take a moment to check in with yourself. You can keep your eyes closed or open them, it's up to you. Check in with your energy right now. Is your energy calm and smooth? Or maybe it feels a little bit rushed and busy. Maybe you're moving at a fast rate, or maybe your energy is a little bit erratic, unpredictable. Maybe it's sort of pulsing, just feeling where you are right now. And if you're thinking, Katia, I do not know how to sense that, take your best guess at the closest thing. If you did know, what would it be? A lot of the time your intuition is speaking to us even though we're not ready to hear it. So just tapping into whatever you feel right now and trusting in whatever that is. From here, we're going to set an intention. So we've looked at our energy, how it feels right now. And then I also want you to think to the end of this week, to Friday, when we're wrapping up this challenge. It will be in this same digital container, but you'll be different. How do you want to be different? Set an intention for the feeling that you want to have on Friday when we're wrapping up this challenge. And keep in mind, an intention is all about the feeling versus a goal is about some kind of outcome. So thinking about what it feels like to be you on Friday. Then welcome that feeling in now. Start feeling that now. Beginning to manifest and show up for yourself as that person you're going to be on Friday. What do you hope you might discover between now and then? How do you think you'll need to show up during this challenge and your regular life to bring that feeling into reality for Friday. Just checking in with yourself and setting that intention. Now I invite you, if you'd like, you can open your eyes. We're going to do a little bit of background information about the chakras, or you can keep listening with your eyes closed if that feels like the right space for you to be in right now. It's totally up to you. This is your energy healing. So do whatever feels right in your body right now. So chakras. You've probably heard that the word chakra comes from the word wheel in Sanskrit. Chakras are spinning energy centers, and they're hubs of energy. I'm going to sidestep for a second from the idea of chakras to something called nadis. The nadis, or also sometimes called the meridians, are energy channels that move all throughout your body. And like the veins carry blood, the nadis carry energy. They're moving energy throughout your system all the time. And where the nadis intersect or meet are chakras. That's why they're hubs of energy. And depending on the source that you look at, there could be up to 72,000 nadis and 88,000 chakras. So there's so much more to think about than these kind of standard 7 chakras that we all see depicted all the time. But these are the ones that we're going to focus on because they have kind of the most powerful play in our lives. I would say these 7, and then also the Earth Star Chakra below your physical body and the Soul Star Chakra above the body. But we're going to focus on these 7 because I believe if you can balance and align these 7 chakras, you can balance your life. And I think that's a really powerful place to be because these chakras each kind of look at a different lens of your life. If you can set yourself up through all 7 lenses, you'll be in a really good, beautiful, flowing place that's kind of, I don't want to say your dream life, but it's stepping into the things that you want for your world. Okay, so back to nadis and chakras. These 7 main chakras are along the, Laura Daly just asked, does everyone have the same 7 centers of energy? In general, I believe yes, but there may be outliers in that, within that answer. But in general, kind of like how we all have similar physical form, we all have similar energy form. Like, we all have lungs and hearts, and these energy centers meet where those veins or nadis intersect. So these 7 main centers are all located along the spine. And there are 2 important nadis that kind of intersect, and they do this kind of back and forth pattern flowing together up the spine. The one on the left is called the Ida. That's the kind of more feminine, the yin, cool, moon, receiving side. And the one on the right is the Pingala, and that's the masculine, warm, doing, yang, strong, hot, action side. And as they intersect is where we find the chakras coming up the spine. So they start at the root where the Shakti lives. It's where Shakti starts. It's in that root chakra, sometimes described as wrapped around the root chakra 3.5 times before you start to awaken it and bring that energy up the spine. But you can imagine that as these nadis are flowing and intersecting, if there's a block at one of the chakras, and as they're coming together, they can't get through. They're stuck. You can imagine how as you're looking at the next chakras up above that, the energy would be cut off and it wouldn't be able to flow nicely through your system and through your life. So if you have a block or an imbalance in any one chakra, it can throw off your whole system. So that's why it's so important to look at each of these chakras, not just think about one that we feel like we might be struggling with. Although looking at one main block is also really powerful too. And that being said, so it can be blocked or underactive and not letting enough energy through, or a chakra can also be overactive and kind of pulling energy up from the ones below it and depleting the functionality and the energy in the other chakras. If you have any other questions about chakras, you're welcome to pop them in the chat or the comments, and I'll take a look at them as we go. But right now we're going to do a little bit of an exercise that I invite you to close your eyes for. So I'm going to probably also close my eyes, so I'll make sure I look at the comments when we're coming out of this part. So now we're going to look at each of these 7 chakras very briefly. So I invite you to take a deep breath and put your hands at the base of your torso, the base of your spine, or near the hips, or anywhere along your legs and your feet, because those are also part of the root chakra. And just breathe into this kind of lower energy center. The root chakra is typically associated with the color red, and it has to do with the earth element. So it has a very grounding, stabilizing, secure functionality. It helps you feel safe in your physical body and in your surroundings. Just feeling into that energy. Then bring your hands up so they're resting kind of just below the belly button. This is your sacral chakra, also sometimes called the lunar plexus. Breathe into this space and imagine it glowing with an orange energy. The chakra is associated with the water element, and it helps everything flow in your life, specifically your emotions, your creativity, sensuality, sexuality, and your enjoyment of life. Just breathing into that space, feeling that sacral chakra energy. Then moving your hands up into the upper abdomen. This is the solar plexus chakra. You can imagine it glowing with a yellow light. It's associated with the fire element, and it's your personal inner flame, your personal power, your center for your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth, and also the refinement of your personality, knowing who you are and standing in your true whole full self. And then bring your hands up to your heart center, to the heart chakra. And let this energy center glow with a green light. This is your center for love and compassion, also forgiveness and self-love. Letting it glow with a green light. Then from here, move your hands and your awareness up to the throat chakra. I like to put one hand on the back of my neck, but it's up to you. You can put them both on the front or just use one. The throat chakra glows with a light blue, like sky blue, or sometimes turquoise light. It's your center for communication, both how you express yourself and how you receive communication from others. And it's also related to how you receive messages from within yourself, listening to your own inner voice, your inner guidance, picking up on those signals, how you signal yourself. So seeing that glow with a bright, light blue light. Then from here, bring your hands up to your forehead. And actually the back of the third eye chakra is on the base of the skull. So you might want to put your other hand on the back of your skull. So from the third eye chakra, we'll see an indigo light. This chakra is, the throat chakra is related to the ether element. The third eye chakra doesn't have an element. It's beyond that sensitivity. It's higher vibration, higher frequency. And this one, the third eye chakra, with its indigo light, is related to your intuition. Trusting in those signs you receive from beyond. Sensing into the guidance that's available to you. Knowing what's right in your world for you to do, where to take action, where not to take action. Then the seventh chakra on top of the head, the very center of the head, facing upward, is the crown chakra. See it glowing with a purple light, taking in wisdom from beyond, connecting to the divine, to spirituality, to higher consciousness. And seeing that glow with a purple light. Then when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and come back. For the sake of this challenge, we're going to be focused on the three lower chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus. The heart chakra is kind of the turning point or the connection point where it connects these lower physical and emotional chakras with the higher spiritual and mental chakras. So in this challenge, we're going to be working on setting this energetic foundation. I think it's so important to be really rooted and grounded and stable as you're trying to do the higher work. So for today, we're going to talk a little bit more about these three, but then tomorrow we're going to talk specifically about the root chakra. Wednesday will be the sacral chakra. Thursday will be the solar plexus chakra. And then on Friday, we're going to tie these energies together and start to weave the energy. And last thing we're going to talk about for today, or one kind of last activity, inside your chakra balancing workbook for this challenge, there's a little chart and it shows underactive, balanced, and overactive functionality for the root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus chakra. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I really encourage you to, because I feel like, for me anyway, when I'm reading these things and I get a look at them, it's easier for me to take it in than when I'm just listening like on this video, especially as we're talking about the three different ways of functioning or balance for three different chakras. It's a lot of adjectives all at once, and it might be a little bit hard to separate them out in your mind. But when you can see them separated in the chart, it's a lot easier. So if you haven't downloaded the workbook, please do that. You might even want to, if you're watching the replay, pause this and come back after you've downloaded. So for each of these three chakras, I will describe to you the underactive, balanced, and overactive state. And I'd like for you to think about how you feel now in your life presently. In general, a lot of us feel a lot of these things a lot of the time. So you've probably felt every adjective on this page, but we're not trying to heal yourself from 10 years ago. We want to heal yourself right now. So thinking about how they show up in your life now, how they're manifesting in your life now, which one resonates most strongly now. So we'll look at the root chakra first because it's that first chakra. That's the foundation for the foundational chakras. It's the base of everything. It's totally essential. So if your root chakra is underactive, you might struggle with anxiety, overwhelm, victim mindset, and insecurity. Take a moment, check in with yourself. Do those adjectives, those descriptors resonate for how you show up in the world in your present life? Maybe yes. Maybe you're like, give me another one. So next we're going to look at a balanced root chakra. In this state, you feel secure, a sense of belonging. You're fully supported and grounded. You can rely on yourself. And you have trust-based decision-making. Take a moment, check in with yourself. Does that description sound like you? If so, awesome. Your root chakra is most likely balanced already. And here's the third option for the root chakra. If your root chakra is overactive, you might feel restless, angry, greedy, materialistic, impatient, and you might have controlling tendencies. If that sounds like you, then most likely right now you have an overactive root chakra. It's sucking up energies from other places. It's working harder than it needs to. And we'll tomorrow dive into that root chakra and how we can heal that if you had the underactive or overactive energies. But for today, we're just taking note of what place we're in now, observing, not judging, and then we'll work on it. Don't worry, we're not just going to tell you that you're a little, off balance and then say, bye. So we'll work on it, I promise. Next, we're going to look at the sacral chakra. First, we'll talk about the underactive sacral chakra. Take a moment, check in with yourself. Does this sound like you? A lack of control, detachment from emotions, insensitivity, difficulty dealing with change. Does that kind of describe you now in your life? If not, let's try another one. If so, think about how that manifests for you, how that shows up in your world. So the sacral chakra, if it's balanced, then you will flow with creative energy. You'll have empathy and warmth towards others. You enjoy life and you feel pleasure freely. If that sounds like you, then you have balanced sacral chakra energy. And next we'll move into the overactive sacral chakra. So see if these sound like you. You might have emotional reactions, mood swings, and unhealthy attachments and addictions. If that sounds like you, then you most likely have an overactive sacral chakra. And we'll work on whether you have underactive, balanced, or overactive. We'll be working on that on Wednesday. And I recommend, even if you feel like your chakra is balanced now, I still recommend that you come for the different days of the challenge, just so you have the tools ready for another day when, energy shifts. As humans, we have pretty volatile energy. We can so easily be thrown off. We get good news and we're so excited, we're so happy, everything's wonderful, or somebody cuts us off in traffic and that just taints the mood for the rest of our morning. So it's so easy to be kind of swayed. So it's important to have these tools to be able to come back to alignment and balance, and that flow that we've been talking about as easily as possible, as kind of liquid and flexibly as possible, being ready. Okay, and now the solar plexus chakra. See if this sounds like you having an underactive solar plexus chakra. Maybe you have low self-esteem, lack of self-trust, indecisiveness, lack of identity, and lack of energy. If that sounds familiar, you most likely have an underactive solar plexus chakra. And here's the balance description. If you feel joy and inner richness, self-trust, high self-worth, a strong sense of identity and purpose and authenticity, then most likely you have a balanced solar plexus chakra. And the last option for the solar plexus chakra, perhaps you have an overactive solar plexus chakra. In that case, you would experience aggression, bossiness, a need to be right. You might be critical or competitive. You might be a perfectionist or somewhat self-centered. So take a moment and see which of those three categories resonates the most for how you're showing up now. Again, just to observe and notice and see how that plays out in your life, not to judge or feel bad. And we'll work on it. You're not alone on this. We're going to keep working on these energies. And I think that's about it for today. I recommend that you journal about these, about whatever you found about your root, sacral, and solar plexus chakra, if they're underactive, overactive, or balanced. And just check in, see how that feels, see how that resonates. Laura asked if you can be over and underactive in a chakra and wanting to move towards balance. I think so, because even moment to moment, everything can be so fluid. It can shift and kind of, we're riding a wave. But if we can bring balance, then we can maybe kind of hone that wave so it's slowing into a more centered and balanced place, or at least have the elasticity to bring it back to that centered, balanced place with more ease, or to not let things throw us so far off of balance and flow. But yes, most people have experienced all of this at some point. And even moment to moment, it can flip. Nice. Laura said, yes, waves, I get that. So for your homework, I would love for you to share in the Facebook group just the one word, which chakra you're most excited to work on, or which one you think you need the most help with. And at the end of the week on Friday, I'll be giving away a prize to someone who has participated in this challenge, like either shown up on the lives or commented in the homework and sharing a special prize. And Bar shared moment to moment fluctuations. Yes, sometimes she feels that. So thank you everyone for joining me today. Please share in the group, make yourself at home, make yourself comfortable, say hello to some of the others, and share which chakra you're most excited to work on. And I will see you tomorrow for the root chakra balancing workshop. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow. Thanks again.